All right, I think we are back. Hopefully. Let's see. Give it a minute. Gotta love the internet service provider and their reliable internet connection. Yay! Welcome back. Anyone joining? Anyone at all? Let's see. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Should I do the music? Alright. Throw your computer in the ocean. It's not the computer this time, man. It's the ISP. It's for sure the ISP. Junk. They sent me new hardware and it was trash. That, or maybe it's just actually just broken service. And the service is so bad the hardware won't matter. Which I think is almost worse. Okay. Let's see. We didn't even get to start that damn news segment yet. All right. One second. There we go. Okay. I think we are 100% back. Franco said, you need more people to sign up to Calci to fix computer. It's not the computer. It's not the computer. Parts did get expensive, though. I will say, I've said it before. I'll say it again. The peer pressure from the chat to upgrade my computer's RAM a couple months ago, possibly even a year ago, saved my butt when RAM prices skyrocketed, which is pretty cool. Dixie said, hi, JJ. How you doing, Dixie? Dixie, who do I talk to about a ghetto internet service provider when they're the only good internet service provider available to me? Like, is there any way that I can get my service to not suck? Because it randomly cuts out. It's very, very random. And it kind of ruins the stream sometimes. Like once or twice a month, stream gets ruined by the ISP. Little ghetto ISP action. Okay. We went through everything, man. Bitcoin 64, 292 and 28 cents. Let's get into the news segment. We got a big one from Bull Theory. Make sure you guys smash the like on this one. We're doing the best. We're doing the best we can. Starlink. Yeah, right. Like, that'll be any better. And like my stupid apartment, people will let me put that little white dish outside my window. Franco said, on a related note, rate hikes on internet/cable sucks, and for what? Yeah. Dixie said, nothing with ghetto prices. I mean, should I just switch to the ghetto one? There's a ghetto option. What if the service is the same or better? You know? I do have Mint Mobile. Highly recommend Mint Mobile. I literally pay for phone service, like, in bulk for the year. And it's great service. It is fantastic service. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked. Let's see. We got a big one from Bull Theory. AI is about to trigger the biggest economic crisis since 2008. Not because AI is failing, but because AI is moving at a pace the traditional economy is not adjusting to fast enough. This is what Citrini laid out in its research, and here's everything you need to know about it. White-collar workers make up roughly half of U.S. employment, but more importantly, the top 20% of income earners drive around 60% of total consumer spending in the U.S. That means a relatively small group supports a very large part of housing demand, car purchases, travel, restaurants, software subscriptions, private school, mortgage quality. Honestly, now I'm going to stop them right there. You would think if these jobs went away and those people had to re-enter the workforce and get a little bit of calluses on their fingers, that the wealth would be spread a little more evenly. Am I wrong? Is that wrong to think? Dixie, yep, I read that. 88 Metals Mania said, oh, hey, JJ. What's going on, 88 Metals Mania? Welcome back to the sequel, part 2, live stream numero dos. I don't know. Now AI coding tools are already reducing the cost of building software. Companies are renegotiating large software as a service contracts. That's because paying for month-to-month service on something that you used to be able to buy a lifetime license for is a scam. Because internal teams using AI can now replicate core features faster and cheaper. Haha. When companies cut 10 to 15% of staff, seat-based software revenue drops automatically. Early impact, margins improve because payroll drops. Second impact, high income wages weaken. Third impact, spending slows, but machines produce output. Machines do not consume output. If a $180,000 product manager role is replaced by a $200 a month AI tool, corporate profit rises, but household income falls. If this happens at scale, you get a loop. AI improves, companies cut jobs, spending weakens, companies protect margins, buy more AI, cut more jobs. So it's just going to become like a Ouroboros, a snake eating its own tail. Each step makes sense for one company, but across the whole economy, it shrinks the wage base that supports demand. Who's going to buy their product though if there's no one, like if you get down to it, if you really boil down to it, no one is going to buy the product if there's no one being paid a wage to be able to afford the product. You know what I mean? So is their product just going to get ridiculously cheap? Like, is a gigantic office building going to be reduced down to like 2 or 3 guys with Mac Minis? That seems kind of silly to think about now, but give it 2 or 3 years and you'll be thinking about it completely differently. All right, so let's see. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for rejoining the stream, even though my internet service provider is hell-bent on me failing as a YouTuber. Okay, now look at what just happened. After Claude announced its new code security AI update, cybersecurity stocks sold off sharply. Why? Because investors immediately realized AI is now automating tasks inside cybersecurity itself, a sector that was considered protected from automation risks. That is the displacement effect spreading beyond software into security, compliance, and enterprise defense roles. This is how the loop expands. Now, here's my next question. Why on earth, why in God's name, why in hell would you ever give the security of your company to an artificial intelligence who, by the way, just recently, I believe like the head of AI at Meta gave Claude access to her email, and it just started deleting stuff. And she was literally, she posted the messages. It's like, the next best solution is to delete everything, to mass delete. And she's like, no, don't do that. And it's like, deleting progress 70%. And she's like, stop. What did she say? I don't even remember the word. She's like, stop OpenClaw or something like that. She literally had to like yell at it, and it still didn't do anything. It was like, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. And then she had to like run and unplug the Mac Mini, which is really funny. Tom Selk said, no one is letting AI manage their company security people out their mind. Apparently that's what's happening, man. The OpenAI is like, we have like a security feature, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, the security, the bots are taking over the security. So they dump all their stocks. It's really kind of adorable. This is displacement effects spreading beyond software into security, compliance, enterprise defense roles. This is how loop expands. Now add credit. U.S. private credit has grown to over $2 trillion. Many deals in software and tech were priced assuming stable revenue, recurring revenue. If AI compresses pricing power, those revenue assumptions weaken. If defaults rise, private credit funds, insurers, and pension holders face pressure. Now look at housing. The U.S. mortgage market is around $13 trillion. Mortgages are underwritten on stable income assumptions. If high-income job stability weakens, lenders tighten standards. Housing demand weakens. While incomes are under pressure, prices soften. That affects household wealth and confidence. Now look at government revenue. The U.S. government collects most of its money from payroll taxes and income taxes. If labor income shrinks while capital income rises, is that true? I thought that they printed most of the money that they have. Since when does that come from taxes? Capital income rises, tax collection changes. At the same time, displaced workers need support. That means higher spending and lower tax receipts at the same time. This is different from 2008. 2008 was a financial system failure. This would be a labor structure shift. In past tech revolutions, new jobs replaced old jobs quickly. The risk here is speed. If AI replaces high-income cognitive roles faster than new high-income roles are created, spending drops before the system adapts. This does not guarantee collapse, but it increases the risk of weaker discretionary spending, pricing pressures in software and services, rising stress in private credit, housing sensitivity in high-income cities, good, fiscal deficits widening during a productivity boom. AI can be extremely productive and still create short-term economic instability. The system was built on scarce human intelligence. If intelligence becomes cheap and widely available through machines, the value of human labor changes. Markets will reprice that shift. If you want to track whether risk is building, watch simple data. White-collar job openings, wage growth in high-income sectors, enterprise software renewal pricing, private credit default rates, housing delinquencies in tech-heavy metros, payroll tax receipts. If those weaken, while AI capability keeps accelerating, the displacement scenario becomes real. The risk is not AI failing. The risk is AI working faster than institutions can adjust. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, we opened with a big one, so I appreciate you guys sticking around. Unusual Whales posted news. EU says it will accept no increase in U.S. tariffs after Supreme Court ruling says a deal is a deal per Reuters. I actually agree with that. I will say the blanket 15% tariff, it's a little bit of a backhanded situation when you like guaranteed deals with these. You already like shook hands and maybe even penned deals with these other countries already. It's a very odd way to react. This cracked me up. I'm not gonna play the music unfortunately because I will get copyrighted. It's Linkin Park. Remember who you are, white boy. It's a good edit. Highly recommend. Good stuff for sure. The 90s and the early 2000s, man, there was nothing like it. There will never be anything like it. People will pay to like emulate this in the future. It'll be like Westworld, but it'll be like 90s world or millennial world. Elites saw the power in the mid-2000s and had to nerf us. Next, mortgage rates drop below 6% for the first time in 4 years. Yay! I might be able to get a house as soon as the market recovers. I'm just kidding. I did not hedge all my bets on the market. But it would be more helpful if the market did recover. That would be nice. Not the housing market. It's not the housing market. Every market but the housing market. The housing market can crash. That's fine. Just let the housing market crash. Oh, we got to do a poll. All right, let's get back to Bitcoin. I know you guys are eager to see Bitcoin lose 64K for the 18th time this year. Let's start a poll. How many more times will JJ's internet go out tonight? 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, more than 4. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Cheaper rates, higher home prices. Nah, nobody's buying homes. It's fine. Watch your mouth. You guys ever see that video of that person? They're like asking that mega church guy something, and she was like, is it true that you said that you didn't want to fly commercial because you didn't want to get into a barrel full of demons or something like that? And he goes, he like freaks out. He's like, I did not. And he like points at her and he's got like his face is like, it's so creepy, dude. It's so creepy. And then he goes like, it's so weird. I've never seen a more uncanny interaction than that creepy ass video. Yeah, dude, it's so I would love to interview that guy just to like get inside of his head, because I think he's a psychopath. Like, that's not even greed at that point. That's just like, is it psychopath or sociopath? Maybe a little bit of both. I think one is one and one is not the other. It's like Christianity and Catholicism. We're not going to get into that though. Okay. $200 million worth of crypto longs liquidated in the past 60 minutes. That was apparently yesterday. Pretty crazy stuff. Bitcoin fell under 65K. It's now at 64,155. President Trump says Supreme Court accidentally and unwittingly gave him more power after tariffs ruling. Michael Saylor's strategy bought 592 Bitcoin worth $40 million. Absolute legend. Orion said, friend, I am here for the urgent Bitcoin meeting. Urgent Bitcoin meeting. Oh yes, Bitcoin is flash crashing. It is currently flash crashed 6.5% since what? Since Saturday. There you go. There's the urgent best 60 minutes of my life. I literally opened a short before that 8 p.m. crash. Hell yeah. Okay. President Trump threatens any country that wants to play games with Supreme Court tariff decision will face much higher tariffs. I enjoy the idea of these countries just being like, we don't care anymore. We don't freaking care, man. That's gonna be funny, man. It's gonna be funny. All right. Continuing, gold reclaims 5,200. It is now currently sitting at 51.85. Got a little bit of a dumper in. People taking profits. No surprise. Silver looking good. I like that wick. 87.24. Is silver going to break above $100 soon? Actually, let's reform the poll. We got 3 votes. Appreciate you guys. 67% of you guys said 0. Hell yeah. Manifest that positive internet service provider energy. When will silver break back above $100? Within the next 2 days? Within the next week? Sometime in March? After March? I don't know. It might not ever. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. When will silver break back above $100? You got within the next week, sometime in March, after March, or I don't know. It might not ever. 88 Metals Mania said they make a deal with him, then he tacks on another 15% a few months later. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. What if I said, what black shirt today? Don't fall. Today we have. This is one of my favorites. I'm not going to make sure that this is not going to recline because I think I'll be fine. Today we have Star Wars with Darth Vader. Hell yeah. The chair is spinning. I'm not spinning myself. The chair is spinning me. Okay. Hold on. It's like QVC. Hold on. Let's do the QVC spin. Ready? Buy this shirt today. Your husband loves Star Wars? Is he kind of an asshole? Get him this Darth Vader shirt. Just in time for Easter. Okay. Oh, man. I can't believe you guys watch me. Thank you, Waterfly. Guys, don't forget to subscribe. Sign up for Calci if you want to make some money on random gambling bets or possibly lose some money. But we'll both get $25 in non-withdrawable site credit when you deposit and trade with $25 or more. If you use the referral link in the description, it is degenerate gambling, though, so treat it as such. New career path, QVC. Okay. Bitcoin 64, 140 and 40 cents. A lot of 4s. 64, 140, 40. Interesting. It's a sign. The 4s add up to XRP. Okay. Anthropic says Chinese AI companies, including DeepSeek, launched industrial-scale attacks on their AI model Claude. We're getting into such a weird time, man. Where they're like, you attacked me. Did you just attack my Claude bot? Did your Claude bot just attack my Claude bot? Hey, John? Yeah. My Claude bot said that your Claude bot said that he was not intelligent. He said artificial, unintelligent. No, I'm sorry. That's not appropriate at all. I don't think that our Claude bots can spend any more time together. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, now I see where he gets it from. Thank you very much. Goodbye. What an asshole. Okay. U.S. mortgage rates dropped below 6% for the first time since 2022. Very cool. Crypto.com receives conditional approval to operate as a national U.S. crypto bank. That's great, actually. Now that they've removed all of the money, they have everything that they need for fractional reserve. AI bots have a small penis. Franco said, Catholicism is a sect of Christianity. As far as paths, a sociopath is someone who doesn't care for human life. A psycho is a crazy person who lives in delusion. Okay, so he's a sociopathic psychopath. I feel like that's appropriate. The private jet guy. 88 Metals Mania said, keep your clod bat in line. You better keep your clod bat away from mine. Okay, Bitcoin falls under $64,000. Actually, that was today's headline. It's funny to see those headlines because, like, you get if it falls below 65 and then it reclaims 65, they report it fell below 65. Those aren't necessarily in order. We fall below 64, they report it fell below 64, and then we reclaim 64. Happens every single time, man. Every time. It's crazy. John Tujo said, about to break 64. Yes, we are, my friend. 64.96 and 18 cents. Not a whole lot going on, though. I'm surprised that this didn't result in more weakness, downside, shardy farty party. Anyways, Watch Your Guru posted $615 million liquidated from the cryptocurrency market in the past 24 hours. Crazy, crazy stuff. Over 700 billion wiped out from the U.S. stock market today. That's a lot of dough. Lex Luthor says Bitcoin is an inflation-resistant asset and crypto is the path to economic freedom. You know why? Because when you buy crypto, you lose all of your money. So then you are free, economically free, because no one can tax you, no one can bill you, no one can charge you. There's nothing to tax, bill, or charge. You are free from the economy. And you are technically free because you have no money, so you have no value, you have no worth, and anybody can just take you for $0 down. It's crazy. Crazy times. Crazy times. You will own nothing and be happy. You will be worth nothing and be happy. Marty Party posted Bitcoin as IGV correlation. This is a tech fund. Very, 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 very close correlation. Like almost 1-to-1. It's pretty crazy. Allegedly, according to Marty Party, this is like the 18th different theory he's posted. I respect the guy. You know, he's still posting. Some people, they disappear after like 8 or 9 wrong things. Not Marty Party and not me. 200 exponential moving average accumulation zone. We are below the 200 exponential moving average, which we've been below that before, apparently. This is on the weekly. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Let's see where we end up. Is that the... Yeah, that's got to be the 200 exponential for Bitcoin. Hopefully it's not IGV. He also posted stablecoin mint 10 minutes ago, 9 hours ago. Another 500 million USDC on Solana. Rolling 1 month is 8.32 billion. Pretty crazy stuff. Bitcoin still lingering at 64.93. Here we go. Zach XBT announces investigation will be released February 26th. That is in approximately 3 days. New major investigation dropping February 26th. One of crypto's most profitable businesses where multiple employees abused internal data to insider trade over a prolonged period of time. I'm calling it right now. I'm gonna say Binance. I think it's Binance. I do. Franco said a cartel member is a sociopath. A schizo is a psychopath. Yeah. Yep. What do you think about... Franco, I want your opinion. What do you think about the price of silver and what's going on in Mexico right now? With Mexico being the largest producer of silver on the planet. 88 Metals Mania said some prediction markets. Sure. Really? You guys think it's a prediction market? I understand it says one of crypto's most profitable businesses, so that makes sense. It could be pump fun. The abused internal data leads me to think that it was... It's got to be an exchange, because what internal data does a prediction market have? You know? All they know is where people are putting their money. They don't know anything before or after, depending on the market. Unless it was like, is Kalshi gonna allow prediction market for this hockey game? You know? Look at Polymart. What's Polymart? Polymarket, you mean? I just don't know how they would have insider info. Same with, what was the other one? I forget what the other option was. With a market maker. Market maker kind of makes sense because they know where they're going to buy and sell. Poly has Pump Fun in the lead. Oh, ooh, okay. Tom Selks said, oh, I didn't know he said crypto on his post. Yeah, probably Binance. Pump Fun kind of makes sense too, in the same vein as Polymarket. Or not Polymarket, I'm sorry, in the same vein as Binance. The average rate on the 30-year fixed mortgage in the U.S. has dipped below 6% for the first time since late 2022, hitting 5.99% according to Mortgage News Daily's daily tracking. Very cool. Berkshire Hathaway cash reserves hit $382 billion at an all-time high. Tether supply signal. USDT supply hits 2022 levels. That's 4 years ago, by the way. JJ Math. Tether supply usually contracts during massive reset periods. The last time we hit this 3 billion threshold, it marked the end of the bear market and the start of a massive recovery. While the chart shows price weakness, this level of supply drain often signals that the selling exhaustion is peaking. If history repeats, the smart money whales, large participants, are preparing for the next leg up. In my opinion, accumulation zone is 58.8 to 68.8 for institutional exchange dollar cost averaging. 88 Metals Mania said could even be hype, maybe. Ooh, yeah, hype is a good one. Jane Street raises its strategy stake, that's what it was, by 473% to 951,000 shares worth $121 million as the firm expands exposure for the company's large Bitcoin holdings. Gold passes U.S. Treasuries as largest sovereign held reserve. This is like the 18th time this has happened in the past 8 months. The total value of gold held by foreign central banks now approaches or exceeds $4 trillion, surpassing holding of U.S. Treasuries at around $3.9 trillion. Branko said, silver went parabolic. Naturally, it comes back down. LOL. George bought high as far as Mexico. Shake my head. Cartel trying to scare the government and people trying to stay powerful through intimidation. Shake my head. But what about the correlation? Because the cartels are kind of at least doing stuff. They're causing civil unrest in Mexico. And Mexico is the largest producer of silver in the world. So, is it Iran that's causing the pump in silver? Like the Iran-US thing? Is it the trade tariff uncertainty? Or is it Mexico? Or is it all three things? And is silver going to get above $100? 43% of you guys said after March. We got 7 votes. I'm going to end the poll. We're going to do another one. End poll. I asked you guys, when will silver break back above $100? 43% of you guys said after March. 29 said within the next week. 29 said, I don't know, it might not ever. And 0 said sometime in March. Interesting. Okay. Next poll. Next poll. Let's see. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is below its 65K support. What is the bottom? We've got 60K or higher. We've got 55K to 60K. I'm going to go 59.9. We've got lower than, I guess I'm going to go 50K. No, I'm going to go 40K. 40K to 54.999. Or lower than 40K. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. Please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Bitcoin is below its 65K support. What is the bottom? We got 60K or higher, 55K to 59.999, 40K to 54.999, or lower than 40K. Franco said, I don't know about silver and cartel. I haven't followed, but as you know, there is no such thing as coincidences. Ken Bosak said, bro. How you doing, Mr. Ken? Cheers, my friend. Happy Monday. Pretty decent Monday for me. I'm actually quite excited for this week. Lower than 40K, in my opinion. All right. I respect that. No surprises here, man. You could tell me it's going to 0, and I would be like, okay. I would not be surprised. All right, Kobe SE letter. Breaking. NASDAQ 100 futures extend losses to nearly minus 1% as Bitcoin falls below 65K. This is very concerning. The current population survey response rate is down to 64%, the lowest on record. F your survey. I don't have time for that crap. This is the data the U.S. Labor Department uses to calculate unemployment rate and other metrics, such as underemployment and multiple job holders. Since 2009, this percentage has fallen 30 points and is now even below 2020 pandemic levels. Fewer people than ever are responding to the survey the Labor Department uses to publish economic data. As a result, labor market estimates are built on increasingly incomplete data and far less reliable than in the past. What is happening here? I don't know if you guys have noticed, but every single jobs report has been revised down. Every single one. So, in my opinion, it's been a problem for a year. It's the most useless, silly thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's also incredibly inefficient. What are they doing? Door to door? Come on now, it's 2026. 88 Metals Mania said could be 40K by the time we wake up. Blockchain Brew said, hey again, JJ. What's going on, Blockchain Brew? Cheers, my friends. Happy Monday. Ken said, institutional liquidity has dried up. Retail capital cannot make up the difference. There are too many derivatives. I actually thoroughly agree with that. We've been looking at the metric. Everyone's like, record amount of retail buyers, and it's like $1 billion. Well, there's a record amount of institutional selling, and it's like 6.8 billion. So retail makes up like, what is that? I don't even know. What's 20%? It's less than 20%. It's like 16%. Retail is like 16% of institutions. And that's like record amount of retail is like 16% of of institutions. So it's gonna be a game to catch up on for sure. Ryan said, never follow retail, follow with smart money. That's what I mean, dude. Every time I see these things, they're like record retail participation, retail's buying the dip in record numbers, and I'm like, every time I read that, I get freaked out. I'm like, I don't like that. That's not exciting. That's scary. Retail's never right. If retail's buying the dip, we're gonna dip more. Retail is buying like the prequel. Retail is buying the prelude to the dip. Crazy, man. It's crazy. Okay. This is very concerning. Retail's like buying stock in Mordor before, like the day that Gandalf sent Frodo and Sam to Mount Doom. Franco said, not even smart money, follow the chart. The chart don't do shit, Franco. The chart's effed right now. There ain't no TA that can save you from this. President Trump, any country that wants to play games with ridiculous Supreme Court decision will be met with much higher tariff. Gold futures surge above 5,200 an ounce as tensions between the U.S. and Iran escalate. The Dow Jones Industrial Average falls 600 points in 30 minutes as U.S. equity markets react to new tariff threats from President Trump. U.S. stock market losses accelerate with the Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ now all down 1% or more. Trade war volatility has returned. It is literally rinse, repeat, over and over. It's the same exact story. Every couple of months, same exact story is playing out. All you got to do is short everything. I'm just joking, by the way. Not financial advice. But if you guys want to do that and you want to be degenerate gamblers, you use my link in the description. And you can help support the channel. That Pulse player said no Clarity Act either. The market makers can't produce clarity with all their sketch trades and manipulation, hence no act. Thoughts? I think that's a bank thing. And unfortunately, I'm at this point now where everyone's hinging so much on the Clarity Act. Like it's going to be Jesus coming back 3 days later. And then they're going to approve it and nothing's going to happen. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm ignorant, arrogant. I will say I'm not removing my exposure from the market. I just don't think that the Clarity Act is going to do anything. Ken Bosak said, come on my podcast sometime, bro. Send me a DM. Send me a DM, Ken Bosak. I will be on there for sure. I'm totally down. My my buddies always hype me up how much I can ramble. So I'm totally down for a podcast for sure. In the description, my X account in the description of the live stream, you can send me a DM there, or if you want to join the Discord and DM me on there, either one. The Discord's free, always will be. I'll never have a paid group or any BS like that. If I do, it's gonna be an OnlyFans, so that way you guys at least get something of value. Franco said the chart told us when to escape crypto. 50 moving average. That's actually fair. That is fair. That is fair, Franco. But now, the chart's useless. The chart tells us when the bottom, all the noise in the 40Ks. Isn't it supposed to be when we break below the 200? That's supposed to be the bottom. I'm looking for 50. I don't. Is it 51.5? I think it's 51.5. that I'm looking at. This is my bottom right here. Yeah, 51.5. This is my estimate. And this is after my reluctance, thinking that we're maybe going to bottom at 70K. If it was a bear market bottom, yeah, that was the first one. My OG crypto winter bottom was 75. That came and went pretty quick. Okay, let's continue. Market's quiet. Gold and silver even taking a dump. No fun, man. No fun. Pulse said, yeah, my thoughts exactly. 63.7. Okay. Market volatility has rarely been this high under the surface. The 1-month realized volatility of the S&P 500 average stock relative to index volatility is up to 24 points. Volatility is high. I'm not going to read the whole thing. The market's volatile. It's like record volatility. DM sent on X. Okay, it looks like I got it. Thank you, sir. I will reply momentarily. This is absolutely insane. On February 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Claude announced Claude Code Security. This is an automated AI tool that scans code bases for vulnerabilities. As of 1 p.m. Eastern Time today, just 2 trading days later, CrowdStrike stock, CRWD, has erased $20 billion of market cap on the news. What is happening here? I just received an alert for Coinbase. It said, everything is down so much. Get out now. I'm just kidding. I did get an alert, though. It says ADA is down 5.1%. Thanks for rubbing it in. I will say, it's crazy. It's pretty crazy going to work. And I like to let my alerts accumulate so that I can talk about them on stream. And I can pull them up and read them. I got an alert for all these things. Yesterday, I got like 20 alerts for all these different... It was crazy. I was like, whoa. 88 Metals Mania said not the Claude bot. Okay, Claude Code, Claude bot. I don't know, man. They're all the same. They're all the same to me. Ken said, LOL, yeah, we will have a good pod, bro. Oh, dude, I'm totally down. Okay, here we go again. We got the phone call. The parents calling the parents about the kids being assholes. Anthropic accuses Chinese companies of siphoning data from Claude per Wall Street Journal. Okay. I got some things to say about this. 1. Accusations include Anthropic says DeepSeek, Moonshot AI, and Minimax set up fraudulent accounts on Claude. These companies prompted Claude more than 16 million times to train and improve their own models. Anthropic says more than 24,000 fraudulent accounts were used. OpenAI sent a memo to the U.S. House accusing DeepSeek of the same tactics. And the AI arms race is heating up. Okay, if your AI literally like hinges on the idea of no, what's it called? Not PR, public domain, no public domain or whatever, no copyright, like they just scrub everything and plagiarize everything, then you should not say shit when everybody else stick their fingers in your peanut butter when you got your hands are like in 18 different peanut butter jars already. You're like, hey, stop that. Stop it right now. Stop it. I can't. I'm really busy with all this other peanut butter. You better get your hands out of mine. You can't do that. That's silly. That's like, it's like the person that was trying to buy drugs calling the police on the drug dealer for stealing their money. That is literally what's happening. It's just embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. Get out of here, Anthropic. You're an embarrassment. So is OpenAI. Breaking. Demand for the Fed's standing repo facility surged to $30.5 billion on Tuesday, the 4th largest operation since 2020 pandemic. The SRF allows banks to borrow cash from the Fed using government bonds as collateral, acting as a key source of liquidity support for the financial system. Was this overnight? No, standing. Okay. The operation was split between $18.5 billion in treasuries and $12 billion in mortgage-backed securities. The likely cause was a calendar squeeze, as large Treasury settlements coincided on the same day due to President's Day holiday. A similar episode occurred on Columbus Day and during the year-end period in December 2025. However, if repo usage keeps rising outside of the calendar squeezes, it would signal deepening stress in short-term lending markets and may force the Fed to inject even more liquidity. Are liquidity pressures quietly building beneath the surface? Yes. Just double the money supply. Just do it. The Chinese did it, and their economy's booming. Their dollar's actually gaining on ours. So just double it. Just literally print as much money as we have circulating right now. Print that quantity right now. evenly distributed among every single U.S. citizen, and we'll all be happy. Oh my gosh, we'll spend so much money, it'll be crazy. Just do it. Do it. Ryan said, I do like peanut butter. So do I. But I'm not going to tell on you for enjoying some of my peanut butter when I'm enjoying some of Metals Mania's peanut butter. You know? It's weird. Don't tell on everybody for telling on everybody. It's embarrassing. 88 Metals Mania said, just more leverage? Exactly. That's all money is. Okay, breaking IBM, irritable bowel movement stock falls over 10% after Anthropic announces that Claude can streamline COBOL code. It's becoming increasingly clear how pivotal the times we are in right now truly are. That is quite a sentence. Anthropic is quietly, literally targeting a new trillion-dollar industry every day now. Every time a new cloud-based AI tool emerges, stocks in that industry are crashing 100 billion worth of market cap. The craziest part, we all know exactly what's happening in real time. Should we almost just short like every category of software? That'd be kind of funny. And then the next one that drops, we sell, like we close that short, and then just keep going through the motions. That'd be kind of funny. U.S. stocks erase nearly 800 billion in market cap. AI disruption fears spread and trade war headlines return. This has to be like the craziest time in the market where there's like a single sector that's so successful, literally everything else is just plummeting because of how bad it is compared. Like AI is the first big technological advancement that we've had since like the internet. So people are tweaking. That also, oh God, I gotta get the tinfoil hat out. Getting the tinfoil hat out because I'm spooking myself. That might be why crypto is dying. Crypto was supposed to be Web3. Web3 might be AI. AI might be Web3. Or maybe Web3 came and went like pre-adoption, and because everything moves so slow, the I don't remember what it's called, the progress curve of AI is so fast that Web3 adoption doesn't even have time to take place before Web4 AI shows up and dethrones it. Like Web3 crypto, Bitcoin's literally like walking up the podium to like get its diploma, and AI's just running and just knocks Bitcoin off the stage, and everybody points and laughs at Bitcoin. And AI's up there like, yeah, I used AI to write all my essays. That's what's happening, man. Oh my gosh. Just dawned on me. Wow. Okay, let's continue. Now that I've successfully flooded everyone's bags. Breaking, Elon Musk says Anthropic is guilty of stealing training data at massive scale. See, man, it's just, like, this is getting rather gay, if you ask me. No offense intended. If you're offended, then maybe don't be. FedEx is suing the U.S. government for a full refund on emergency tariffs paid, citing the Supreme Court's ruling last week. That's pretty crazy. I like FedEx only because one of their drivers smashed into my van a couple years ago, and I got a big fat check from it. Let's see. This is from Trueflation. Highly recommend you guys give them a follow. New U.S. factory orders for manufactured goods fell by 0.7% month over month in December 2025, slightly exceeding market expectations of a 0.5% contraction. Orders fell 617.5 billion after November's 2.7% increase, 6-month high at 621.9 billion, led by durable goods. Cautious signals. Okay, hold on. Positive signals. Rising shipments, growing backlogs that provide a certain buffer for future production, and flat to rising inventories indicate manufacturers are still producing for and fulfilling orders. Cautious signals. Orders have dropped in 2 of the last 3 months and align with broader surveys. ISM PMI contracting in late 2025. Weak new orders internationally due to tariff uncertainty. This could be due to transportation volatility, but if softness persists, it could signal slower momentum ahead. What's your take on the state of U.S. manufacturing? We'll find out. I believe March 2nd is when we'll find out for sure what ISM PMI comes in for February. Cointelegraph posted Latest data shows prediction markets hit a record 38.01 million transactions last week, with Polymarket leading at 22.58 million. So I think Kalshi had Polymarket for, I don't know, I read that the other day and it didn't sound right, but yeah, it looks like Polymarket overtook Kalshi. Yeah, no, there was never even a competition. What the hell did I read yesterday? Because I always thought Polymarket had number one. What the hell's opinion? 662 billion asset under management. Jane Street ramps up its MicroStrategy position to 951k shares valued at 121 million, a 473% surge in holdings. That's pretty crazy. All right, let's see. I asked you guys, we got 7 votes. I'll end this poll as well. I said Bitcoin is below 65k support. What is the bottom? 72% of you guys think we're going lower than 40k. 14% of you guys think we're going to 60k or higher. 14% said 55 to 59,999. 0% said 40 to 54,999, which means it's probably going to be between 40k and 55k. Let's be honest. What's the next poll, you ask? Why, I have it right here. What is the next poll, actually? Jane Street going to try to wreck MicroStrategy? Do you think so? Ooh, that's a good one. Let's do that one. Do you think Michael Saylor strategy will be wrecked before next Bitcoin all-time high? Yes or no? Yes. It's inevitable. Yes, but they'll be bailed out. No, not gonna happen. No, that's literally impossible. So you got 2 no opinions and then 2 yeses. Do you think Michael Saylor's strategy will be wrecked before Bitcoin all-time high? 88 Metals Mania, thank you for your input, my friend. Okay, liquidation. Bitcoin hitting 64k triggered $508 million in liquidations in the past 24 hours. That's pretty crazy stuff. Stablecoins could reach 2 trillion within 3 years, fueling nearly 1 trillion in fresh T-bill demand per Standard Chartered analysts. Very cool. Bitcoin has fallen 49% in 5 months, erasing over 1.2 trillion from its market cap. All right. Donald Trump says he can use licenses and approved tariffs in an absolutely terrible way against countries he claims have taken advantage of the U.S. Strategy completes its 100th Bitcoin buy with another 592 Bitcoin celebrating the Orange Century. Cheers. Congratulations, Michael Saylor. Hopefully you're around for the next all-time high. 88 Metals Mania said, didn't Jane Street just get accused of opening market manipulation? They sure own a lot of MicroStrategy stock. They actually just recently started buying a ton of it. Should we ask Grok? We haven't read our Grok answer yet. Metaplanet CEO Simon Gurovich argues AI agents will bypass banks and hold digital capital like Bitcoin as value storage. Here's my question. If I'm artificial intelligence and I see cryptocurrency and how volatile it is, and my owner or whatever, my brain, my artificial intelligence is like, I need to store my value somewhere digitally, wouldn't I just use stablecoins? You know, why would I use anything but a stablecoin? Like, as an AI, you take everything at face value. Like, Bitcoin could increase, but I just want, like, money that I can spend and hold and, like, self-custody and whatever. I'm going to use a stablecoin because it stays the same price. It does not change in price. I'm just saying. Maybe when the market picks up, the AI will be like, oh my gosh, maybe that's what'll happen. Maybe Bitcoin's going to get so ridiculously low. These AI agents are all going to load up on stablecoins and stuff. And then eventually they're going to be like, there's a huge value proposition in this Bitcoin thing. And nobody knows who the creator is. And the wallet hasn't been touched. And like, there's limited supply and all this stuff. Let's buy some of this Bitcoin stuff. And then maybe that leads to this crazy super cycle bull market that everyone was anticipating this time around. That'd be kind of cool. But it still deflates. Why do they care? You know what doesn't deflate? The digital stuff that's getting cheaper because of AI. They're not going to be ordering beef jerky, you know what I mean? They're going to be ordering, like, digital crap. They're going to be buying Robux. Bitmain bought 51,162 ETH worth $95.36 million last week, bringing total holdings to 4.42 million ETH with 3.04 million staked. That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Tom Lee. Update to Crypto.com secures conditional OCC approval as it moves toward becoming a federally regulated U.S. bank. 88 Metals said, so AI looking for the best place to store your wealth for you. I don't know. Reese said, Sailor will just borrow more infinitely. He will never get wrecked. He will raise more capital, always. I kind of agree with that, but you never know, man. These crazy funds and hedges and stuff, they might just remove the guy from existence. I don't know, dude. People get weird when it comes to money. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Seems like a cool dude. He was right as hell about Apple. Maybe he's right again about Bitcoin. I think he is, but, you know, we've all seen my track record. Spot gold above 5,200, up nearly 2%. It is now currently sitting at 51.83. It is down nearly 0.81%. Wow. 88 Metals said, Ponzi's always crumble. The US dollar is a Ponzi. The world is a Ponzi. If our entire financial system, the planet's entire financial system, financial well-being is like held together by increasing population. If the population decreases or even just plateaus or like slows down, doesn't increase as exponentially, there's not going to be any money. Not going to be any money, not going to be any jobs. And I'm sorry, I'm going to laugh when that happens. Because everyone's going to poop their pants and freak out and not know what the hell to do. And I'm going to be just as poor as I was yesterday. So, at the end of the day, the people who live on less are going to be the ones who can survive the apocalypse. Where you said, your job is a Ponzi. Haha. Yeah, it is. They all are. They all are. Big. Zach XBT says a major investigation is set to drop February 26th, alleging employees at one of crypto's most profitable firms abused internal data for insider trading. WLFI says USD1 faced a coordinated attack involving hacked accounts and large WLFI shorts, but the stablecoin continues to trade at par with a full 1-to-1 backing. Wow, that's crazy. This was a coincidence. People were talking about this. That's why WLFI is even in the conversation with Zach XBT, because this happened, and then immediately after that, WLFI had all these issues. Allegedly, Eric Trump was deleting tweets, and then he was, I don't know, it got weird really quickly. Zach XBT was like, we're publishing an investigation, and Eric Trump was like, oh, delete it all, burn it all, and then he's like, World Liberty Finance is great. I love World Liberty Finance. It's a 1-to-1 backed stablecoin. USD1. It got weird, man. Franco City. Oh, hold on. 88 Metals said, yes, it's like a Ponzi. Need to add more new people to keep the old people going. LOL. Franco said, new commentary on AI bypassing Web3 and making crypto and Web3 essentially null and becoming an instant Web4 was a brilliant observation, JJ. Am I wrong? It's the growth curve, man. Everyone was like, crypto is the next .com, and Web2 took so long to ramp up. Web3, we were like, oh my gosh, it's exponential, blah, blah, blah. And then AI comes along, and everyone's like, where's all the money going? And AI is just already, like, at the top of the food chain. You're a smart guy, JJ. Since when are you smart? I think, so it's like the scales of justice. I'm smart when it comes to rambling, but I'm bad at math. I'm smart when it comes to rambling, but I'm bad at choosing what assets are going to be successful for a longer period of time than like a month. I enjoy it, though. I do enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy it. That is the key to success, in my opinion, is enjoying life. If you enjoy life, you'll feel successful. And people probably hate you for that. And I think that's why a lot of successful people get so much hate. Sometimes they're out of touch, though. They're, like, weirdly out of touch. My favorite thing so far this year is Elon telling people that they don't need to save money. The richest man in modern history is like, you don't need money. What is money? You don't need money. What the hell is that? What the hell is this money thing? I've never even heard of it. Crazy, dude. Oh, man. All right. Michael Saylor says quantum computing is not an immediate threat to Bitcoin and may be at least a decade away. Okay, so I saw a recent observation on quantum computing that I was like, oh. What's more at risk of quantum computing hacks? Bitcoin, like your seed phrase, or your online bank account? You know what I mean? I think banks are more at risk when it comes to quantum computing than crypto is. Because crypto is a very small niche. There's not a lot of money there. Maybe it's easier because it's like a lot less regulated, so maybe it's easier to steal that. But if I have a quantum computer and I can just steal directly from the banks, why do I give a shit about Bitcoin? You know? And it's a lot easier to brute force a single password to access whatever the hell your Bank of America app and just transfer the money out than it is, or even just to guess your freaking credit card info, than it would be to guess like a 12 or 24 word seed phrase. Reese said, gotta take lessons to make it. Just buy Zebek, hold till next run. And that's actually funny. Next run's a good joke. 88 Metal said, wallets are probably pretty low on the list. That's what I mean, man. Nobody's gonna be oh, here, quantum computer Claude. Guess 24 words in a row to get me access to some random ass Bitcoin wallet, and hope and pray that there's some Bitcoin in it. And Claude is gonna be like, no, here's $1 million I just hacked into Bank of America, idiot. Why would I guess 24 words and hope that there's Bitcoin in there? Franco said, but no, that observation about AI making Web3 quick chapter of the past that never even got off the ground was a great observation, and I'll be regurgitating that to others. That shit is true AF. Make sure, Franco, that when you do, you point them to the channel, have them subscribe. We're not going to do any paid groups or any bullshit like that. We're just here to rant and rave and have fun, talk about finance and cryptocurrency, maybe play some video games and shit. It's a fun time. I plan on doing ghost hunting this summer, for sure. There will be ghost hunting videos going live on the channel at some point. Maybe I'll even, or maybe if it's successful enough, maybe we'll live stream a ghost hunt. That'll be sick. The ghost of my bags. see if we can find some of my all-time highs. A screenshot of like my wallet at the high point. 88 Metals Mania said, right, LOL, let's not crack government files and codes. Let's go after JJ's wallet. That's what I mean, dude. They're going to be like, I figured out a wallet. Like, it's going to be like 8 days of grinding. You're going to spend 10 grand on your electricity and water bill. And your quantum computer is going to be like, I got it. I got access to a wallet. You're going to be like, let's go. And you're going to check, and it's going to have like Dash and like some Ohm in it, like a bunch of rugged projects. You're gonna be like, what the hell is this? And then the quantum computer is gonna be like, well, this is the wallet. This is the wallet that I got access to. What do you mean? Well, you sure iron a mean green screen? Oh, thank you very much. You're one of the 38 people that watched it. I honestly, I was like, this is gonna be such a good video. And then I made it, and I was like, it's not as satisfying as I was hoping it would be. And then I published it, nobody's watching, and I'm like, I don't really blame them. It looks really boring. The shorts are like a fun experiment, because you don't really get like shoveled into like a pit. You can just keep publishing until one of them catches on. I will say my Lord of the Rings shorts have been the most successful. Like, I consistently get views out of them, so I'm probably going to try to do some Lord of the Rings content. Dixie said, need to take Zachy ghost hunting. Dude, that would be so much fun if we all went ghost hunting. Ghost hunting in Vegas with the boys. Professor Oak said, bro's gonna find a Gengar. Hell yeah. Dude, we have a Gengar Squishmallow. Big fat Gengar Squishmallow. Okay, just in EU, honestly, like, I wish I was joking. My Squishmallow collection, if you sold it for manufacturer's suggested retail price, might be worth more than my bags right now. I have a ridiculously large quantity of Squishmallows in my apartment. It's actually scary. Mildly concerning. Borderline sociopathic. EU lawmakers have postponed for a second time a vote on the US-EU trade deal after Trump's new 15% blanket tariff raised uncertainty over whether it overrides last year's agreement. I like that everyone's confused. Everyone's like, what the hell is going on? No, they're just like, I'm not going to sign this shit. U.S. mortgage rates have dipped under 6%, marking their lowest level since 2022. Wow. 88 Metals Mania said, I don't even know what the F that is. Same. I'm not sure what you're referring to either. I don't even know what the F you're talking about. Ethereum smart contract deployments reach a record 9.1 million in Q4 2025, surpassing the previous 6 million peak set in Q2 2021. So, I don't know if this was actually said, but I was listening to George while I was driving home today, and he specified that Vitalik is selling ETH to fund future development. And I was like, what? I think that's bullshit. I hope that Vitalik didn't say that, because I would automatically assume that he was lying, and that would make me lose all respect for him. Like, I respect the guy right now. He sells at the bottom, which is kind of stupid, but that's what he does. And the prices go lower, whatever. That's fine. Take your profits. It's a free market. But if you're gonna lie to my face and be like, "Oh, it's for project development," shut the fuck up. Nobody's privately funding the project development of a public decentralized protocol. So I hope that he didn't say that. 88 Metals Mania said, your little gay collection. What's my gay collection? I forgot already. My little gay collection. Yeah, I need more context. That could be several things. Lunar Entity said, I said tariff reversal would be bearish because the admin would ultimately retaliate. Oh, that's actually fair. That's totally fair. What if I counter-argued and said this has nothing to do with tariffs, that it was peace in the Middle East being disturbed via Iran and the clogged toilets on the USS Titicaca, and the cartels basically firebombing the entirety of Mexico. It's worth more than your bags. Oh, yes. Okay, I understand. My Squishmallow collection. You said I don't even know what the F that is. Okay, a Squishmallow is quite possibly the greatest stuffed animal of all time. I have one. I could grab one right now. It has some stuff on top of it. I'm not going to grab it. I will show you guys another time. But they make varying sizes. There's like sizes like this big. There's like little 12-inch guys. And there's like big motherfuckers that are like the size of a beanbag. They're pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Every time I'm at the store and I see them, I'm like, oh man, I should get one. And then they're always too expensive. And then like a week goes by and I go back to the store and they're on like clearance for like half the price. And I'm like, damn, now I have to buy one. And then I come home and our entire couch is covered. There's various corners of the apartment that just have Squishmallows in them. My daughter's room is probably flooded with Squishmallows. I don't know. I haven't seen her in like a week. It's pretty crazy. It's out of control. Reese said your collection of rounded candles. Rounded candles? What the hell's a rounded candle? It's not the shape of the candle that matters. ETH down 1.36%, currently sitting at 1830. Bitcoin down 1.49, currently sitting at 63,693. Oh, we lost 64 pretty hard, didn't we? All right, let's continue. A lot of news today. A lot of news. Appreciate you guys sticking around, even though the stream got rugged already. Right here, just in, U.S. lender rate launched RateFi, allowing borrowers to use verified crypto holdings in mortgage underwriting without selling them. The rollout aligns with Senator Cynthia Lummis' push to recognize crypto as a reserve asset in home loans. Very cool. It is still, to this day, even if it goes to zero, it will be my lifelong goal to mortgage a house with Fartcoin. Even if I have to like do it myself, I'm going to buy a property and then I will subdivide the property and then I will sell a piece or maybe donate a piece to like my fiance, and then I will buy that piece from her with a mortgage backed or a loan backed with Fartcoin. I will do it. I will make it work. More leverage. Okay. Big U.S. stocks shed roughly 800 billion in market value today. What is up though? What is it? Walmart is up. Whatever KO is. PG, Pep, Toba, Lilly, Ginge, Ebv, Zom, Nvidia, Apple. Oh yeah, Nvidia earnings are this weekend, aren't they? I heard somebody bought a big fat chunk of Nvidia stocks, so their earnings might be pretty juicy. New Taylor Lindman, former Deputy General Counsel at Chainlink, has joined the SEC's crypto task force as Chief Counsel. Wow. All right, we got a mouthful from MSB Intel. $28 billion just evaporated in a single afternoon. IBM stock cratered over 10% today after Anthropic announced Claude can now streamline COBOL code. The most lucrative consulting moat in tech just collapsed. For decades, major firms have made billions manually untangling ancient mainframes. These COBOL systems process 95% of U.S. ATM transactions today. Anthropic just changed the entire math. Their new Claude code tool automates the complex exploration and analysis phases of modernization. It maps dependencies across thousands of lines of code instantly. What used to take teams of human analysts months to figure out is now handled by an AI agent. The market is violently repricing companies that rely on manual legacy upgrades. Here's my thing. Let's give AI access to our entire ATM network. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Let's do that. Did you guys see? I don't know if this is real. I saw an AI allegedly gave $250,000 to some random person who was just begging for money in their X post. But I do know that the automated AI X accounts can be controlled by humans, so that might be publicity. But I thought it was pretty funny. That's also, it's a brilliant way to like pump your bag as a content creator on X. If you want your stupid AI X account to be really successful, just fake accidentally giving away $250,000 to somebody who replied. That way everyone on the planet that wants $250,000, which I don't know anyone that doesn't, is going to be replying to everything that stupid account posts from this point forward. That's a brilliant way to pump your bags. 88 Metals Mania said this Claude is all over the news. I know, I'm so sick of it. Hello, John. Yes, your son Claude? Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. Yeah, no, he's been incredibly rude to my OpenAI, to my Grok. My son Grok has been coming home every single day just sad because of how mean, how rude your Claude boy is. Lunar Entity said, if IBM manages to scale its enterprise offerings for AI and crypto, I would not be surprised if it goes to 1 trillion before Cisco, but we'll see. I derive great joy from watching the dinosaur companies of my youth continue to grow. I derive great joy from watching competition enter this monopolized industry. And maybe that's because I don't have stake in nearly any of these companies, but I don't know. I find it fascinating when all of these fat, happy, greedy, comfortable bastards have their bed lit on fire and they can't move. Maybe that's morbid. It's not meant to be. It's supposed to be an analogy or metaphor. Maybe it's a morbid analogy or metaphor, but I don't really care. I'm gonna have a bowl of cereal when I'm done streaming. Huge U.S. home sellers now outnumber buyers by over 600,000, the widest gap ever recorded. Let's make it even wider. Lunar Entity said, you don't like watching the tech circle jerk? I don't mind watching the tech circle jerk, but when somebody comes in and just starts like throwing whole bulk bottles of ketchup at people's face, it makes me laugh. Latest, Bitcoin's on-chain activity has fallen for 6 consecutive months, a trend last seen before a 30% correction in 2024. That's crazy. This looks like an AI picture. Robinhood has launched Robinhood Ventures, a new private markets platform offering access without accreditation requirements or high minimum investments. I feel like that's what Robinhood was. Am I wrong? Lunar Entity said HGX has yet to fall, JJ. It never leaves Bitcoin behind. Interesting. Okay. What is HGX? Give me your thoughts Lunar Entity, I'm curious. HGX. Oh, housing sector. I mean, it's dropping a little bit. Kind of matches Bitcoin. Nope, I lied. What was I looking at before that kind of matched? Okay. Next. Stock money lizards. It's been a while. Stock money lizards did abandon us for like a solid week or two there. People are most bearish at intraday lows. Then they flip bullish during bear market rally intraday greens. Pathetic. Just acknowledge that we're in a bear market. Weekly RSI is already below 30. Price below exponential moving average 200. We're not going to 20K. Bitcoin has to form a bottom range. Likely, this is starting to happen now. Somewhere between 53K and 65K. And it will take some time. So either your bags are full, then just log off, or you place some limit orders. But this whole doom posting is boring. Seen this since 2018 and it never came true. Just relax. Not financial advice. I gotta respect it. Lunar Entity said HGX is the US housing index. On the monthly, it has diverged from Bitcoin. I think the crash in that market could be significantly worse since it's being propped up. What, HGX? You think the you think the US housing market's gonna crash? That'd be exciting. This one blew my mind. Like, I'm genuinely, in my brain, I'm like, damn, how hard would it be to, like, go rent an apartment for, like, 6 months in Iran and just mine Bitcoin? You know what I mean? Get some Starlink up in there. Is that crazy? What, how many, if you solo mine Bitcoin for a month and you get, like, 65K in profits per Bitcoin, can you actually mine multiple Bitcoin? How, like, what kind of equipment? I'd be genuinely interested in looking into the logistics of that. Mohar said, can we get a dong on the daily check? Yes, we absolutely can, my friend. Let's go check dong on Cardano. If you guys are not familiar, you should be. And if you're not and you don't want to be, you should join the weekly dong cast on X. It's a ton of fun no matter what. US dollar dong is 428. It's below 498, which is the line that we had on the chart for some reason. Measured against ADA, though, it's actually holding up much better than Cardano, which is kind of crazy. If you had bought dong on December 22nd, instead of ADA, your dong would be up 35.76% against your ADA, which is pretty crazy. Market cap 156K. Or 152K, I'm sorry, 263 holders. They are quite possibly the most humble project on Cardano. And in my opinion, the most fun. There's a Dongcraft Minecraft server now, which is a ton of fun. Probably going to be in there more and more. Going to be publishing videos from that as well. Evan's been bullying me in there, but it is a lot of fun. Dixie said, hey Dong. Mohar said, eventually you'll need T-Mobile to mint Bitcoin, or at least that's what I think will happen. Just hit my bong. What? Are you good, man? T-Mobile. Okay. Due to low energy costs in Iran, you can mine 1 Bitcoin for just $1,320 and sell it for 68K. That's pretty cool. I remember seeing the map for this. I think Saudi Arabia was another place that was really profitable. Lunar Entity said HGX is currently the most diverged it has ever been from Bitcoin, 124 days offset. So what do you think, Lunar Entity? Do you think that the K-shape is going to pull Bitcoin up or pull HGX down? What do you think is going to happen? You also, before you answer, you have to do the one that you're saying. You have to do one of these. For no reason. Scum, we're going to make it, on X posted, how to get rich in 2026. Just buy 100 kilograms of copper, 1 kilogram of silver, 50 grams of gold, and half of Bitcoin. Hold them for the next 11 months. Thank me later. Quite possibly a legend. I don't know. That'd be cool to check that in the future. We've got Shah posting some primo astrology FUD throughout history. Let me start over. Hold on. Throughout history, every blood moon has lined up with a bearish Bitcoin event. January 2018, blood moon. Bitcoin fell from 20K to 10K, starting the bear market. May 2021, super blood moon. Bitcoin dropped from 58K to 30K due to regulatory pressure. November 2022, blood moon, FTX crash, Bitcoin nuked to 15K. September 2025, blood moon, marked the Pico top, 126K. Next one, March 3rd, 8 days from today, ... We'll see what happens. This will for sure be a cool reference to look back on. March 3rd, let's actually put that on the chart. I'm curious. Bitcoin, let's go to March 3rd. And we'll put a vertical line on March 3rd. Boop. And we're going to put right here some text. Blood moon. BTC dump? Question mark. Mohar said, do you start off the stream with some JJ Lo-Fi, LOL? I do, but this one is a part 2 because my ISP decided to rug me because I was getting a little too deep, a little too technical, a little too conspiratorial. And the ghetto kicked in. Lunar Entity said, yep, we read that. Yeah, Lunar Entity, let me know if you think the K-shaped divergence is going to pull Bitcoin up or pull HGX down. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Let's check our poll. I said, do you think Michael Saylor's strategy will be wrecked before Bitcoin, next Bitcoin all-time high? 33% yes, it's inevitable. 17 said yes, but they will be bailed out. 50 said no, not going to happen. Let's end the poll. Let's do another poll. Because we can. When does Bitcoin finally bottom? Pico low price. Next 3 months. Next 4 months. Yeah, next 4 months. So Q1, Q2, 2026. Let's do Q3, 2026. Q4, 2026. Sometime after or after 2027. 2027 or later. Sometime in 2027 or later. Let's do that one. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. When does Bitcoin finally bottom? Pico low price, next 4 months, Q3 2026, Q4, or sometime in 2027 or later, which could be 2028, 2030, 2040, whatever one you do when you answer. If you answer that one, then put your year guess in the chat. Just for funsies. Mohar said, poll suggestion, when will ADA hit all-time high? That's a bad poll. Nobody wants to know that. Everybody wants to keep seeing my face, man. Okay, bar chart. We are in the home stretch. Bar chart posted Hims and Hers Health. Hims has now traded red in 14 of the last 15 days and lost almost 50% in value. Its worst period in history. Timber. Silver on track for its 10th straight green month, its longest winning streak in history. That's pretty epic, actually. I remember when this dumped, I was like, I don't know if that's going to last. And turns out I was right, but I don't know if this is going to last either. It might go back down before the end of the month. Breaking Bitcoin Timber. I believe I am for sure, again, we'll have to confirm this when we get closer, but I'm pretty sure we're planning for a 12-hour live stream on Saturday, which will probably be noon to midnight. Maybe we'll start a little bit earlier. Maybe we'll go 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. But be there or be square. We'll be here live for 12 hours. Let's get back into it. Bitcoin taking a big fat dump. Something big must be coming. Dear God. Jim Cramer said Nas down 0.65 on the usual nothing. That's actually pretty funny. Odds of March rate cut have fallen to 4%. You know I took that bet. You know I took that bet. Oh my gosh. Why is my Discord not muted? Shut the heck up. Okay. Bar chart posted, raise your hand if this is happening. This is actually a great chart. I've seen this so many times. The stock you sold, the stock you were about to buy, your stocks. Pretty epic. Lunar Entity said it depends on credit. Cop out answer for housing, but no unwind yet. All right, I like it. So you're thinking pull up for the Bitcoin? 12.7% of credit card loans are now in serious delinquency, 90 plus days, the second highest in history. The only other time the percentage was higher was the aftermath of the global financial crisis, which this one is the first hopeful one I've seen because it said aftermath, which means maybe we're in the aftermath of global financial crisis 2.0. I don't know. If this is the prequel though, then it's probably going to get real spooky. All right. U.S. housing markets. Home sellers now outnumber buyers by more than 600K, the largest gap ever recorded. Hell yeah. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff just loaded. Coffee falls to lowest closing price since November 2024. Congrats, everyone. We did it. Cheers, guys. Coffee is delicious. And now that it's really cheap, I thoroughly enjoy it even more. All right. Just in. This one's crazy. I didn't even know that they were even around to be able to do this. Terra. What? Terra sues Jane Street for alleged insider trading leading to the collapse of UST and Luna. That's freaking crazy. Lunar entity said this is the first time in history in that credit spreads have remained at pre-GFC levels for this long. That's actually kind of crazy. So this one's weird to me. I guess maybe weird is not the right word. UST was formulated in the worst way possible to the point that my dumbass knew that it was going to be a rug. You cannot peg something to something else that changes in value to try to keep it at the same price and just print that other item. Does that make sense? Like the US dollar was originally pegged to gold, and gold is a hard asset. You can find more, but you cannot fabricate more. They were just fabricating Luna in order to keep UST pegged at $1. And with that increase in supply decreased the price, and that led to a cascading event that literally depegged because people were willing to pay nothing for Terra. So nothing times infinity is still nothing. Therefore, the price of UST collapsed. That's just as simple as that. So there's no manipulation that could have caused that. It's just the stupid way that they decided to tokenize or whatever to what's it called? To algorithm the stupid stablecoin. 88 Metals Mania said you have to watch that Jane Street SBF came from there. Oh, I'm pretty sure he is trying to sue people as well. SBF. Actually kind of cracks me up. Okay, Crypto Jack posted, according to Glassnode, Bitcoin has reached the bottom. He posted this 22 hours ago. Since then, Bitcoin has actually gone down further. So thank you, Crypto Jack. 500,000 followers. That's crazy. Not for UK, USA, UAE audiences. Okay, opinions only, not financial advice. But I do like this chart. Bitcoin supply and profit. Oh yeah, every time we do hit this, we bounce. It is a trend line. But we have gone as low as, oh my god, what is that, 50 cents? What? Bitcoin price. I'm assuming there's a multiplier somewhere in there, right? That's funny. Okay, and last but not least, we've got Aporia posting. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Little nice little copium to end the news segment on. Life is fucking electric, bro. Don't fall for the doomer shit. That's for losers and normies scared of their own shadows. Walk around like God sent you and smile at everyone you see. Spread light and abundance, build things, and take chances. This is the best time in history. And I couldn't agree with that more. So make sure you guys touch grass. Hug the ones you love. Spend time with them. Subscribe to JJ's Crypto Corner. Maybe sign up for Kalshi and play some bets there. Not financial advice. It's a lot of fun. Jokes aside, though. Make sure you enjoy your time. You know, you're doing it for something. You're not doing it for money. You're doing it so that you can buy time with the money. But right now, you have time that you don't need to buy. So make sure you enjoy that as well. If you're not enjoying it, then maybe make some changes so you can. Lunar Entity said, that's cute. Tara's unhappy that Jane Street got a cut of the pie, but no slap on the wrist, right? Yeah, dude, it's always fun. It's always fun when the thief tries to get the other thief in trouble. It's the same thing as I was saying earlier with the AI people like being like, they stole, no, they stole, and they're all like got a bunch of stolen shit in their pockets. Oh man. All right, we got 4 votes. I'm gonna end this poll too. You guys saying Bitcoin's gonna bottom in the next 4 months? I said, when does Bitcoin finally bottom? Pico low price. 75% of you guys said next 4 months. 25% said sometime in 2027 or later. Oh, damn. So there's like one person was the complete opposite. That's kind of funny. All right. Let's see what Grok said. I said, what happens if crypto fear and greed goes to zero? What could cause that? Do you think crypto will ever recover? Why is it dropping nonstop? 88 Metals Mania said, it's like the two Spider-Men pointing at each other meme, right? It really is. We should make that meme. That's actually a good one. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index at zero would signal absolute unprecedented panic, but it has never happened. The index from Alternative Meme and similar trackers like CoinMarketCap runs from 0 extreme fear to 100 extreme greed. It blends volatility 25%, momentum volume 25%, social media sentiment 15%, dominance, Google Trends, etc. Right now, as of February 23rd, 24, sitting at 8, deep in extreme fear territory. Yesterday it hit 5, which is the historic low since the index launched in 2018. That level has only occurred a handful of times, briefly in 2019, June 2022, bear market bottom in early February 2026. It has never reached 0. What would happen if it hit 0? Total capitulation. Everyone who was going to panic sell would have already sold. Weak hands are gone, leverage is wiped out, and the market would be in full "this is the end" mode. Classic contrarian buy signal. Historically, readings in a single digit, even 5 to 10, have marked local or major bottoms. Examples: the pandemic, 2022 bear market lows, led into 2024-2025 bull run. Keep in mind that had 2 to 3 years afterwards, so we're going to have to wait a little while. Extreme fear often precedes violent reversals because the last sellers are exhausted. A 0 would be even more extreme, potentially the ultimate blood in the streets moment where smart money starts accumulating quietly. Excuse me. It would mean crypto is dead. It would mean sentiment has hit rock bottom, and the only way left is usually up after some consolidation. How does it consolidate if it's at it's at the bottom? What could actually cause it to hit 0? It would require something far worse than the current sell-off. Realistic but still low probability triggers: a major black swan event, another FTX, stablecoin implosion, or coordinated global regulatory ban. Macro apocalypse, full-blown recession plus liquidity crunch plus stock market crash that drags risk assets to zero confidence. Massive forced liquidations, ETF outflows spiraling out of control. Existential FUD, something that genuinely questions Bitcoin's long-term survival. Quantum computing breakthroughs that breaks cryptography, still years away, but mitigable? Mitigable? Is that a word? Short of that, single-digit readings are the floor we've seen. Even in 2018 crash, Bitcoin minus 85%, or 2022 minus 77%. It never hit 0. Are we going down like 65? I think that's what we did before. Why crypto is dropping nonstop right now? It's not literally nonstop forever, but February 2026 has been brutal. Bitcoin is down 45 to 50% from October 2025 all-time high. Okay, give me the main drivers. Trump tariff shock. Announcements of 15% global tariffs triggered broad risk off. Crypto got hit hardest as a high beta asset. Deleveraging cascade. Billions in long positions liquidated in days. Futures open interest dropped sharply. Over-leveraged traders got margin called, creating a self-reinforcing sell spiral. Macro headwinds, tech stock sell-offs, volatility in gold and silver, expectations of tighter Fed policy under new leadership, and general flight to safety. ETF outflows, plus institutional selling. Spot Bitcoin ETFs saw big outflows. Some whales institutions who bought the 2025 top are trimming. China regulatory moves, fresh restrictions on stablecoins, and tokenized assets added to the FUD. Psychological cycle, post all-time high euphoria flipped to crypto winter talk. Google searches for Bitcoin going to 0 and Bitcoin dead spiked to 2022 highs. This is a classic post-bull correction after a massive run up. Similar patterns happened in 2018 and 2022. Sharp, scary, but not permanent. Will crypto ever recover? Yes, I believe it will, and history strongly supports that. Crypto has survived 2018, 2022. We're now in the bear market phase of the 4-year halving cycle. These periods feel endless while they're happening, but they have always ended with new bull runs driven by growing institutional adoption, halving supply shocks, real-world utility, macro tailwinds when rates ease or risk appetite returns. Could it go lower first? Absolutely. Some analysts eye 50 to 60K, the potential deeper bottom. Could it take more or could it take months or even into 2027? Yes, but ever recover to new highs? The odds are heavily in favor unless something fundamentally breaks Bitcoin, which has proven extremely resilient for 17 years. This is not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. Stay calm. This too shall pass, as it always has. There's a little bit of copium from Grok himself. Bitcoin liquidating the bulls, currently sitting at 63,548 and 47 cents, down 1.69% on the day. I will say, as much as alts are dropping, or as much as Bitcoin is dropping, alts are holding up quite well. It's weird again to see gold and silver drop when everything else is dropping as well. I don't know, man. The dollar might just be king for a little while. It's been doing tremendously well for the past decade, but it might do better longer. Lunar Entity said, my line in the sand is quarterly 21 EMA at 59K. Lunar Entity also said GFC was true fear, system collapse. We haven't had a taste of that in a long time. I don't know if they would ever let that happen. I guess that's my biggest thing, is I feel like we're at a point now where we're so soft-handed that the Fed, any sign of uncertainty like that, the Fed would be like, print. They would just double the money supply. They don't give a shit. Because it's a lot easier to deal with inflation later than it is to deal with a global financial crisis now. Even though something like that is necessary sometimes to reset everything. But they don't want to do that. They're like, ew, that's icky. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know, man. We've gotten soft. We've gotten soft. But I think we can come out on top. Let's do a movie recommendation for the night. Let's see. I watched the Night of the Seven Kingdoms finale. It was good. It was good. It's a good show. Good show. Let's see. Movie recommendation for the night. I'm going to go with... What am I going to go with? I'm going to go with the... What year did it come out? Hold on. Just to go with the apocalyptic theme, I'm going to go with the 2004 Dawn of the Dead. Classic zombie flick. Highly recommend. No one's required to watch it. It's just a suggestion. Thoroughly enjoy that movie. I think that's pretty much it. Lunar Entity said, what they did in 2022 was essentially genius, at least in the short term, quantitative tightening and quantitative easing at the same time. You shrink the balance sheet while you print the hell out of short-dated treasuries. Mohar said, this better be dope. Ha 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 ha. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin, $63,503. ETH, $1,830. Silver, $86.73. Gold, $5,163. DXY, 97.85 and climbing. NASDAQ, 24,820. S&P, 68.37. Guys, appreciate you guys for joining me. As always, when the market starts to do anything crazy or anything at all, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow, reporting live from the bunker. Happy Monday. Smash the like button on your way out, and good night.